I'm Mike Brach. This is Tribe Wellness. That is the energetic and illustrious Junior. And today, we're here to do a video with you with another Yang style Tai Chi technique. And like so many techniques, you'll remember it because it has a very unusual name. The name of this technique is Repulsing the Monkey. To start out with it, we're just going to focus on the arm movements. But just like always, let's try to make sure the crown of the head is stretched up high, shoulders are back and down, and your knees are a little bit soft. I always like to start out with a slow, deep breath to try to relax the mind and reset things. So let's do that now. Nice deep breath in and out. Let's do one hand at a time. For now, I'm going to park one hand at the hip. And you can do the same, or you can hang it down, whatever's easy for you. I'm going to mirror you like you're looking in a strange mirror, okay? And the hope is to make that easier for you instead of more confusing. So I'm going to call this hand my left hand, even though you and I both know it's my right. Don't worry about it. Let's start out left hand out in front with the palm up. Notice that the hand, if I turn to the side so you can see, notice that the hand is at shoulder level and it's in midline of the chest. You'll also notice I'm not reaching way out here. The elbow's a little bit bent. And this is a simple and smooth technique where we can coordinate our hand movements with our breathing, and hopefully it feels really good. So we'll start out taking this left hand. We'll take the left hand and we'll bring it back to the hips. Once we get to the hip, we're going to reach back like we're holding a tray up behind us. Then we'll point the fingertips forward, reach forward, press forward. Now I got to tell you, sometimes I see people and that reaching back really hurts their shoulder. If you're in that position, hopefully you can modify this because the goal is to improve your movement as opposed to causing pain. So one thing people like to do if reaching back here causes a lot of pain is just to drop the elbow a little bit, and that's perfectly fine for this purpose. Hopefully that helps your shoulder feel a little better if you're getting a pinch sensation in there. But let's get back to it. Palm up, midline of the chest. We'll breathe in as we reach back. Then we'll point the fingertips forward, and the whole time we press forward, we're going to breathe out. Slower is better, softer is better. Flip the palm up, pull back, breathing in. Reach back, point forward, and press forward. The good thing about this technique, along with so many others, comes right here from your eyes. There's an important component for balance that involves the vestibulo-ocular system. And we can challenge one important input for balance with gaze stabilization, picking out a target and following it with your eyes. With a lot of our palm striking techniques in Tai Chi, that's exactly what we do. And that's part of the reason Tai Chi has been so heavily validated after a ton of research in treating impairments with balance, especially impairments with balance with Parkinson's disease. And if you have questions on that stuff, you can always feel free to email me. But this is kind of a windbag way of saying, if you don't get too dizzy, and as long as you feel safe doing this, or if you feel like you're going to get dizzy, if you're close to something that you can hang on to, or doing it in a chair, sitting down safely, my hope is your eyes will follow this palm of the back hand as you point forward and press forward. Hopefully that makes sense. And the good news with all this stuff is practice helps. So let's do it a couple more times here. Palm up, pull back, breathing in. Point forward, press forward, breathing out. Slowly and softly. Flip up, pull back, breathing in little by little. Point forward and press forward, breathing out little by little. Again, flip up, breathe in, point forward, breathe out. We're going to add to it now, because this is a motion where we use both hands at once. And the beautiful thing is it's got a meditative aspect like so many Tai Chi techniques, but also there's a fighting aspect. This is a YouTube informational video for you, so hopefully you're not planning on fighting anybody. And hopefully, if you are planning on fighting anybody, you're not planning on doing it in slow motion with a relaxing exercise for shoulder mobility and postural awareness. But I digress. We're going to do both hands now, and it's going to be great. So here we go. Let's bring your left arm out in front. Let's bring your right arm up behind you. We'll point the back hand forward and press forward, palm over palm. There should be, if you look from the side, there should be just enough space for like an arm or a forearm to reach through. Hopefully that's got you thinking about the martial side of this stuff. So we point forward, press forward. As we press forward, we'll pull the other hand back to the hip. Flip up, reach back, press forward, pull back, flip up, reach back, press forward and pull back, flip up, reach back. If this is getting easy for you and you're doing it slowly and you think you're doing it correctly, the next step is to add the breathing. Breathe in as you flip up and reach back. Breathe out as you press forward and pull back. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. Out. In. Out. And in. And out. You can see also how we're working on coordination. I meet a lot of people who say, I can't do Tai Chi, I can't do martial arts, I'm not coordinated. And hopefully you can feel how if we go slowly and we do one little piece at a time, it gets easy to take one piece, add another piece. Get good at that, add another piece. Get good at that, add another piece. So there are always multiple layers to this. And if my teacher, Shi Martin Ware, or his teacher, Grandmaster Wong Chen Leong, if they were here, they'd say, hey, we're still practicing too. Everybody's practicing, so there's always an opportunity to get better. But hopefully you feel how we're working on moving both hands at the same time from their starting point to their end points here, and then timing it again to move from the starting point to the end point, starting point to end point. And as it gets easier, We're just smoothing it out. And when you add the breathing, this can be a very meditative and relaxing activity. And you can see how, from the fighting standpoint, if somebody was punching at you or reaching at you, the front hand would grab the underside of their wrist and pull it back. The top hand would press forward, and together, bam! You could have a little fun that way if you needed to. Obviously, I'm not advocating for that, though. If my pacifist friend was here, she would say, this is more about being one with the universe. But hopefully, this gives you some idea of how to do the arm motion. Keep in mind you can also do this from a chair, provided, and you'll get the most out of it from a chair, as long as you're not sitting back or leaning back against the back of the chair, as long as you're sitting upright and maintaining an upright spine. So that's one way to make it easier. Another way to make it harder is to step out nice and wide, bend the knees deeply, Mabu stance. Tilt the pelvis back, stretch the crown of the head up. And we can do this from this pose, strengthening the legs, as long as your knees don't hurt, toes are pointed straight ahead. We've got that pelvic tilt, we've got that upright spine, and we can continue on pressing forward and pulling back, flipping up and reaching back, forward and back, forward and back, over and over, breathing out, breathing in, out, and in, out, and in. So now, you know a little something about repulsing the monkey. And that's the stationary version. There are other versions of this. We'll do them in future videos. Or you could always come to class with us here in Texas, hang out with me and Junior, hang out with some of the classmates we've got here, and we could do it there.